What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, where today I'm going to be playing Brave Frontier for you guys. Um, as a quick little heads up, I wanted to say this, just so I don't get a whole bunch of comments or questions saying, where are the videos, where's this, where's that, where's this. Um, Even though I know my channel is a small channel, I'm going to start off with this. I'm not going to neglect it. I just wanted to tell you guys now, believe it or not, I'm going back to school within a week. I'm going to be starting my junior year, and I know this is a bad time to do it, but I'm going to be working hard throughout that. If I can choose 3 good colleges to sign into, well, to register, I guess, or to send in a form so I can application, there we go, to apply for. So there's going to be a very huge lack of videos. I'm talking about maybe 1 a week, or maybe 2, maybe 3. That's it. Because I'm going to be focusing with homework. I still have to finish up some book reports, and I'm just going to be focusing on a whole bunch of things, curriculars and projects, homework, and uh, studying for applications, what schools I've decided to go to. So there's not going to be much videos, but if something interesting happens, like something new drops, I'll probably make a video of it. Or if there's just something interesting, I'll probably make a video of it, Brave, or if there's an update to a game I played before or whatever, I may do it. But there's going to be a very huge lack of any other game other than Brave for a while, but I'm going to try to bring another game in here. Uh, Maybe play with some randoms online or something, or I don't know. But or if I get a capture card soon enough, I'll try to do maybe a video or something from my console, like One Piece or Call of Duty or something, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to give a quick little explanation of a gate that's going on currently right now on global that just dropped a few minutes ago, well, an hour ago, and I wanted to explain this a little bit with you guys if you don't get it. So if if you see right now, it's still super rare summon plus, and super rare summon plus minimum 5 stars and higher chance to get 6 stars. That's basically how it was yesterday, but for just this day, so about 23 hours, 22 hours, and 59 minutes, if you want to be exact, for every 5 summons, you are guaranteed 1 random fire unit that can go to 7 star. So you're thinking about who are these units? Well, I'll tell you. Well, it'll be either on the left. I'll put it on the left, a list of fire units that you are potentially going to get from one of these 5 summons. This is pre-Michelle batch, so Michelle is not on this list. So I don't know if they will add her into this or not. So I did not take that into account, just as a warning. But I've taken account every possible other 7 star. So I'll put a list on the left of the screen for you guys to see of all the possible fire units you can get after these 5 summons, but I'll read them off to you. And also at the end of the video, I'll leave a little list of all the elements and what units you can get from that if they do continue to do this for the next 6 days. So let's get started. So for these fire units, you're guaranteed 1 after every 5 summons that is guaranteed to go to 7 star. So they do have a 7 star out currently. Again, Michelle, I'm not sure if she would count because I don't know if they put her in there or not. So I'm not going to do any testing with that whatsoever because I'm going to save these gems for when they do the thunder rates and late. Because I do want a Roa and I do want a Nimith gear. I don't really care for the Nimith gear. I'll probably just blow it off on Roa. But out of these 5 summons for fire, you are possibly going to get an Alpha, a Claire, a Lava, a Regard, which is the Fire Dragon, a Ruby, a Bessie, a Griff, an Ultor, or a Granite. So you are guaranteed 1 of those units after 5 summons. So they can all go to 7 star currently. so you will be guaranteed one of them. So if you want, let's say if you want Griff, or if you want Ultra, or if you want Grant, you have a 1 in 9 shot to get one of them. So this is all RNG, so even if you do 9 summons, you're not guaranteed one of each. You may get dupes, you may get triplets, you may get quadruplets, pentuplets, whatever. But mathematically talking, if you do about, I'm not going to promote Gumi right here, right now, but if you do 5 gems for times 9, that would give you 45. So if you do 45 gem summoning, what? No, I apologize for that. So after every 5 summons, so that's 25 times 9. So supposedly that, so after every 25 summons, you're guaranteed one. One fire unit. That's a lot of gems. That's, but this is, well, I'm using iOS here, so this is, of course, going to be, I'm not using iOS, I'm using Japanese, I'm using yen right now, since I forgot to switch it back, but it's for about 24 gems, it's about $16 on iOS. It's 16 something. Plus 99, so about $17, $18 to get 25 gems. So after $18, you're going to get one random fire unit that goes to 7-star. This is not saying in the gate. So in the gate you could get any unit possible. That's minimum 5 stars. That's it. But after those 5 summons and you get the bonus unit, that bonus unit will be a fire unit that goes to 7-star again. But mathematically speaking, after 9 summon, mathematically speaking, after 9 free units, you should get it. So let's go to the handy dandy calculator, because this is early in the morning and I don't want to do math. So 25 times 9, so you would need a total of 225 gems. This is only mathematically speaking, just for you to be able to get one of every unit. That's free. This is not guaranteed. Again, RNG will play a very huge role. So, yeah. So after 225 gems, if we're talking mathematically, you should get one of each of the released fire units. If not, it's RNG. There's enough said. And again, you can't determine, like, if there are more than 1, 2, maybe 3 units added to this specific thing, just by like a batch of summoning, maybe 2 batches. By batch, I mean the whole 5 summons to get the free unit. Again, I'm going to tell you how many possible units you can get and what I think is probably going to be the best thing for you to, well, element for you guys to summon. So for Fire, Water, Earth, Thunder, and Light, you have 9 units in total that you can possibly get. This is not including Melkio, Exvel, Michelle, or the 2 Dark units. But for Dark units, you have a chance of getting 10 units. So you have about 10% to get a unit you would like. Well, as 9, you have basically an 11% chance with a remainder of 0.1. So, but knowing how the game is in RNG, how I think the RNG coding for Gumi is fixed, or they influence it in a way to the point where you have a higher chance of getting dupes and lower the rate to do it. Because I've seen some RNG programs, but not a lot. So RNG kind of works. If you're thinking it's just a number, it's between 2 numbers. So let's say it's between 100 and 200, you could get a Raga. And between 201 and 300, you can get a Xenia. So if you're anywhere between 100 and 200, you will get a Raga. If you land anywhere between 201 and 300, you get a Xenia. So that's basically how RNG works. It's between a min and a max number, and whatever if you get a number in between, that's the unit you will get. So that's how RNG works, if you're wondering. So again, at the end of the video, I'll leave a list of what units you can get in which gate. But in my opinion, well, I'll actually, you know what? I'll read off the units that you can get from each gate. So again, Fire, Alpha, Claire, Lava, Regard, Ruby, Bestie, Griff, Ultron, and Grant. That's for Fire. For Water, it's Taser, Colt, Alimo, Zerafalgar, Medina, Zeldus, which is 7-star Ulu, Vernil, Iris, and Tridon. Water is personally, in my opinion, is a better batch than Fire, but it's all throughout opinion on what you need. But here's Earth. Earth is Tora, Quaid, Uguru, Idia, Dion, 7-star Altry, Totetsu, Rivera, and Elena. So that's the female from Grant Batch, if you didn't know. For Thunder, you have Cannon, Diana, Griel, Reese, Locke, Balgren, Kagura, Roa, and Deimos. So that's personally what I'm going for. I'm going for Thunder. So again, whichever I'm talking about, I'll most likely put it on the left side of which I'm talking about. For Light, it's going to be Kira, Cephia, Fadal, Raga, Will, Nimith Gear, Krantz, Aurelia, and Renon. Light seems to be a very nice choice to go for, but you also do have the downfall of getting a unit that's a repeat or a unit that's not useful to you or that's been outdated already. Personally, I would not summon for Light. One, because I already have my Raga that I got yesterday. And I would not summon because I have Cephia, I have Kira, I have Fadal, I have Raga, I have Will. I don't have Nemeth Geared, I do have Krantz, I do have Aurelia. All I'm missing is Renon and Nemeth Gear for 7 stars. So I would not do that regardless. By the way, new arena team. For Dark, it's Fiva, Kikuri, Ivorus, Aaron, Alice, Yura, Reese, Kafka, Xenia, and Hatteron. So again, this is pre-Michelle, pre-Lunaris, pre-anything. So those are the dark units you can get. In my opinion, personally, if I had to tell you which one I would go for first to last, personally, I would go for Thunder first. I would go for... Because for Darkness, for Dark, I don't know why I said Darkness. For Dark, I have most of the units here. All I'm missing is Reese and Kafka. So I probably wouldn't do that. For Light, I'd probably leave it last too because Nemeth Gear is not all that important to me personally. Thunder, I would definitely do first because I do want a Roa. Even though I have Demios, Kagura, Balgren, Locke, Reese, Griel, Diana, and Cannon, I do want a Roa. See, like, even though I'm missing 2 units from Dark and Light, I choose to do Thunder because I do want a Roa. Again, this is all preference. This is just my opinion of which I'm going for and which I'm not going for. Earth would probably be second, just because let me explain why I choose Thunder as first. Thunder as first because Deimos is basically a Thunder Ultor. Roa is a very good lead for sparking and whatever. Kagura, there's not much use. I guess you can use for Frontier Gate farming. Balgren is very good for some trials. Locke, I haven't evolved my Locke, so I can't tell you anything. I guess Nuke, but I don't see many people using him. Rize, she's a very good for Arena because of her SPB. The higher HP, the more damage her SPB does. Griel is very good for Seria Trial, Grand Quest, excuse me, because she can solo it if you have the right spheres and set up for her, and she can do some things that FIFA can. I'm not gonna say all of it, but she can do some things, so she could be a good temporary replacement if you don't have FIFA or vice versa. Diana is a good replacement for any hitting, like if you want a Lily Matter effect, you can use Diana instead if you don't have Rivera, Kikuri, or any of those. Cannon is just a good defense buffer. 140 removes all status ailments for SBB, negates them for BB. I think he's pretty good, so I feel like this is a little bit more balanced, even though it doesn't have a mitigator, sadly. For Earth, Quaid and Totetsu are very good for Arena. Elena, I don't know what she's good for. I don't have one. I haven't seen what she can do. I don't see her using much, but I see her sometimes in Raid, I guess. So you take it from that. Maybe you can use her for Raid. Tree, he's a good healer during some trials if you need him. Plus, he has a very good ES skill that makes him take 1 damage occasionally. It's not guaranteed. It's a low proc rate, but it's still helpful nonetheless. Dion is good for Frontier Gate farming. Adia, people like her as mitigator. I personally don't use her as much as people think I should. It's not that I don't like her. It's just that I don't know how to use her right. I use random teams. I don't use full-fledged sparking teams. I just throw whatever units I like in there, and then sometimes Adia does not combine well with those units. So that's why I don't use Adia. Oguru is very good for some trials. He's a very hard hitter for unlimited SBB. Very good at 7-star. Tora is a good sub for Kafka in a way if you don't have her, as well as Hatteron. So I feel that Earth is more focused on offense and slight defense. Oh, I forgot to go over Rivera. I apologize for that. Rivera, again, Lily Matter Effect, and works well with Aurelia. So she's just good. Uh, there's a mitigator, but this is more focused on offense. Some is more focused on, well, damage dealing, I guess. So if you're looking for more damage, maybe some arena stuff, and get an occasional prize of a healer or a mitigator, I would go for it. That's why it would be my second choice. My third choice would be water, because Tridon has the shield, which everyone loves. Tridon shield. It's helpful for trials, hard quests, and whatever. Iris, very good for arena. It's an arena team in Japan with Selena 7-star and 4 irises. Pretty good, and she's very helpful during aerial EX, not aerial, excuse me, Carly X trial for Saria and Lugina. Burnell, after they fixed him, he's not as great as he was before, but he's still useful on occasions. But personally, I will not use him much ever since that whole fix thing. I never used him in the past. I don't think I will be using him, but he's good for status affliction if he's the only unit you have. Uh, Ulu, very good mitigator, does a lot of damage and mitigates and gives you a defense boost. So I don't see nothing wrong with him other than the slow attack animation and the one massive hit. So I would try to inflict as much damage as possible, putting damage spheres on him or whatever. Medina, Lily Matter Effect again. Battle Crystals when you use her. Zero Fulgur, good for maintaining BB during Saria trial. The Crimson Terror, if you want to know what I'm referring to. And just in general, if you don't have BB maintenance, you can use him for it. Alimo, good mitigator, very good. Basically does what Krantz does, except she doesn't do the whole attacking thing and doesn't heal. Well, and heals for both her BB and SBB. Very good. Only downside, she doesn't attack, but she gets her BB gauge quickly, and she gets the job done. Colt, he's a good crit buffer if you don't have a crit buffer. He's a good lead if you don't have an awesome leader. He's good for damage purposes. Not fully, but I would use them every once in a while if I need a 7-star, or if I'm doing a grand quest and I don't have a specific 7-star or whatever, or if I'm just missing something, I would go for Colt, because Colt's very helpful for crit buff, or his leader skill and whatnot. Let me show you him right here. So yeah, plus the whole like free malice on him. If you don't have Claire, you could just use Ice Blade. Very nice. And then this is what his BBs do. Plus the BB gauge increase for 3 turns. That's pretty good. Ooh, 20%. Jeez. Taser, very good for damage purposes, does a good amount of damage, sparks very well, so you can get a lot of damage out of him if you have him with the right spark setup as well as the right units to make him shine, that make him seem like a very high damage dealer, that just go well with him. Um, so for fire, this is where fire would be fourth for me. This is all going off of my preference, so you may have this in a completely different order, but I think fire would be fourth for me, just because Grant is very good for arena. It's not arena, excuse me, for raid. He's very good for raid, especially earth bosses and just any boss that's not water, so he can do a lot of damage. Ultor, good for some trials. The taunt is amazing. He just does a good amount of damage. He crits very well. Griff, another crit leader, very good. Good for no, excuse me. For raid, especially for RC5 farming, he gets the job done and fast. All you have to worry about is survivability. Plus, he's good for imp farming and possibly metal farming if you have the right sphere set up on him. Bestie, good for BB maintenance and good leader skill. Would not put her as lead personally, but I would put her as a sub definitely. Ruby, very good for Frontier Hunter if you don't have a Lario or you're too lazy to farm for a Lario, but you have a Ruby. 40 hits, increases BC HD drop rate for extra skill. Very nice. I like her. But for Frontier Hunter purposes mostly. Regard, or Fire Dragon. Um, I like him because the damage over time debuff he gives on UVB is very nice. Does a good amount of damage. It's good for trials, especially with multiple enemies like Cardis, so you can do a lot of damage in a few turns just to help you out in case you're struggling. Lava increases damage with SBB, defense ignore, just good, but I think she's getting replaced at this point. Personally, in my opinion, I haven't used mine in a while. Claire, I don't own a Claire, but she's good for like a spark buffer, but only as a sub. Not really meant to be a leader, in my opinion, but more to be a sub than anything. Um, excuse me, Alpha, pretty good unit. Does a good amount of damage. I like using him personally when I'm fighting. Earth mechs makes things easier, or any Earth related mission, raid, or just mech run, maybe even totems or something. If I see him and I'm doing something Earth as a friend, I'll most likely bring him because he just does a good amount of damage. He's almost on Grant and Griff level if they didn't give their buffs, but that's just my opinion. Fifth, I would have to, it's really hard to choose between Dark and Light, but for fifth, I would definitely give it to Light. I know you're probably thinking, oh, why'd you put Dark at last? I love Dark units, believe me or not. Believe it or not. But Light just seems a lot more balanced. You have Kira for the damage. You have it for clearing Zijing in one turn. You have Cephia. I don't know what the hell Cephia is good for. I'm guessing the attack down. Fadal attack down statuses. Raga insane spark. He's still good as a leader because of the 100% spark buff. Well, not buff, but damage increase he gives every time you spark, which is 100% on his leader skill. Will is amazing. If you have a sacred treasure on him, or regardless if you don't, he's still amazing. He does so many things in such a compact unit. You're compensating for whatever you don't have just with him. It's amazing. He has high hits, he heals, he increases BB damage, he stops dark damage with UBB. It's very good for trials. Nimith gear, I use him for an imp team on Japan. I don't have him on global. I wish I did, but I'm not too antsy to get him because Farlon is an infinite SBB unit, and I do have Farlon, so the only thing I'm going to be losing out with the Myth Gears is UBB, which is very nice for damage, and again, to one-shot Zijing Trial. Krant, very good mitigator. In my opinion, I think he's the best mitigator out right now. just because he does what a Dia does, and heals, and attacks, and his UVB converts defense to attack for 3 turns, and mitigates for 2 turns. I believe it's mitigates for 2 turns. Mitigates 75% for 2 turns. Yeah, converts attack to defense to attack for 3 turns, and reduces damage taken by 75% for 2 turns. So, yeah. Aurelia, good for raid again, converts recovery to defense. Good combination with Rivera or Fiva's BB. Rhiannon, I don't like Rhiannon. I'm going to be honest with you. I guess she's a good healer, maybe decent. Mediocre at best. I wouldn't use her for much, but if you don't have a healer, she's definitely worth leveling up if you don't have a healer. Well, on to Darks. Well, of course, Dark is going to be last for me. For 3 reasons. First reason, again, I have most of the units from the Dark list, if not all of them. Well, yeah, I'm missing two of the units from the Dark batch that have 7 stars. So that's why I won't be summoning for Dark. Second reason, Dark has a higher amount of units in it by 1. So Fire, Water, Earth, Thunder, and Light only have 9 units that you can possibly get, not including Michelle batch. But Dark has 10. Of course, it's going to be easier for you to get, well, it's going to be harder for you to get a unit you want, but you have an even chance, supposedly, with all of them. So, supposedly. But, again, RNG can screw you over. Third reason is that most Dark units are, how do I put this, are all over the place. They do a lot of good things, but they also can compensate for units that you don't have. Like, Fiva's good for BCHE generation. Kikuri is a good Lily Matter if you don't have one. Iverse is a very good healer. Gives you the Angel Idol buff to 2 random units. Aaron, decent mitigator in my opinion. Alice, highest conversion factor at, I believe it's 80% from recovery to attack. That's very surprising for a unit. Yura, very good infinite SPB unit. Damage over time. You just have damage over time pouring out on specific units. It's going to be very good for Mora when her extra dungeon gets released, or I think it's been released actually right now. But just good for that because you can keep consistent damage. You can do more damage each turn too because of DOT. Reese is decent as a crit buffer now, but he just got replaced so quickly by Griff. Kafka, good for cheesing Aerial EX Trial if they haven't fixed that. Plus, she's just good for status ailments in general. She just helps a lot with it to do more damage with your units, to give them more protection just because of the status ailments. Xenia makes your units hit so hard, it's uncanny. It would be absurd if you didn't have her as a leader. So if you don't have Xenia or Hadron, I would most likely recommend you to summon maybe twice. Well, 2 batches, so do about 50 gems or something. But I'm not going to promote Gumi like that, so it's up to you. Personally, I would give it maybe 1, maybe 2, max 3 batches. That's it. So hopefully you get lucky. And for Hadron, well, yeah, Xenia replaces a lot of units. Hadron is just very good for raid. He does a lot of damage. He's very good for arena. He's surprisingly good for a lot of things, even though he's been debuffed in the past, and I do think he may get debuffed in the future, but because Gumi likes to screw us over. But personally, if they make a unit, before they make a unit public or release information on it, I think they should have it balanced before they do that, so they don't disappoint the community and screw them over for money, which Gumi is known for doing that, confirmed. But Hadron's just good for dealing a lot of damage to any boss, no matter which type. He just does an absurd amount of damage. You can if you face a light boss in raid, you will most likely kill the part within 4 turns, maybe 5, if you have a good setup, and if you're sparking well or whatever. Personally, I spark, so If he sparks, well, I'm gonna do a lot of damage. I don't have Heavenly Butt on him, so of course I'm losing out on the double damage, but he can do a lot of damage for this unit. But that wraps up the whole video. Sorry it was a little bit long, but I just wanted to explain this a little bit to you guys to let you know what you're going to get yourself into if you do decide to summon for the random elemental unit with the 7-star potential. Again, I don't know if they're going to go on with more than just fire. I'm thinking they will. I'm thinking they'll go with the other 5 elements after this day is over, because it's such a short period of time, so I'm just thinking they're going to, but this is just speculation. So they may or may not. But if they do, I would definitely save for a unit you are looking forward to. Remember, it's only 5 stars. That's the minimum you're going to get. You're going to get any unit as minimum 5-star, but your bonus unit after 5 summons is going to be a 7-star unit of that element of the day. So I believe tomorrow is going to be water, the day after is earth, the day after that's thunder. So day 1, fire, day 2, water, day 3, earth, day 4, thunder, day 5, light, and day 6 is going to be dark. Again, I don't know that order specifically, but I would just keep posted, make sure you know what elements are which days, and to summon on the day of the unit you want. Don't summon just for one unit that you would love, because I do want Roa, but if I do go over this and say, oh, I want more units here than I do want Roa, I'll most likely summon for that. But I'm good. Personally, I'm good without any of these other units. Just Roa is what is calling me, so I'm probably gonna summon for Roa when that's out. But that's basically the video. Again, at the end of this, I will leave the whole chart for you guys so you can see what you're going to summon and what day it's possibly going to be. It's all speculation. I have no news of this. Maybe it's in the news and you probably think I'm bullshitting over here. Elemental unit bonus. Maybe here they've talked about uh, the days. Yeah. Okay, yeah, here they talk about the days, and yeah, I was right. So day 1, fire, day 2, water, day 3, earth, day 4, thunder, day 5, light, and day 6, dark. Okay, so they actually do have the units right here, so I didn't even see this. I just did all this work for nothing when I could have just looked at this. Rubius is the 5-star version of Zerofalger, if you didn't know. But yeah, I'm still going to leave this in the whole end of the video just in case you guys don't want to look at the news, or if you just forget to look at the news or whatever. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you thought about this. Comment, like, subscribe. If you like my banner, I'll leave the link in the description to the layout and to the banner of the creator. I'll leave his information in the link and links in the description just so you guys can go check them out if you're starting a YouTube or Twitch. And tell them I sent you. And let me know what you guys think if about my whole like schedule thing with school coming up pretty soon. Of if you think I should find a way to like upload a little bit more, or if you think you can sort of well, I have a low fan base, so but I still do want to bring content to the viewers I have. Even though school starts, I'm gonna try. So let me know what you guys think about that, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. This is going to be posted at maybe like 6:30 in the morning Eastern time. So for you guys on the East Coast, you guys will have something to watch while you're eating breakfast or whatever. So for you on the East Coast, good morning. For you on the West Coast, if you're watching this at 3 in the morning, go to sleep. Good night. But if you guys just woke up, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Information of layouts and banners in the description. Don't forget to comment of what you think about my upload schedule, what you would change, what would you recommend, and whatever. But I will talk to you guys at a later date, and I hope you enjoyed this list, and I hope you enjoyed the effort I did for nothing, so please. like this if you enjoyed this. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.